We had another successful weekend taking in the players involved with the US men's national team, and the closer that we get to next June, the more encouraging those good performances are. We all need to keep our fingers crossed that our top performers like Christian Pulisic and Chris Richards continue performing. Hi, and welcome to the T26 channel where we talk about all things related to the US men's national team, and welcome back to our Team of the Week series where we take a look at the week's top performers and try and build a starting 11 out of them. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss anything leading into the 2026 World Cup. With that out of the way, let's start building the Team of the Week. And today we're going to go with a 4-4-2 due to some bad performances, injuries, and a lack of minutes in key areas. Starting in goal, we have our current number one, Matt Freese of NYCFC, who helped keep a clean sheet against Charlotte FC. Matt had 2 saves and saved a penalty kick. He's somewhat of a specialist here, and that will be very valuable going into the World Cup. We've also seen him continue to develop good habits when playing the ball. He's not trying to force playing out of the back, and when he needs to, when he's under a lot of pressure, he's not afraid to just boot it long and recycle defensively. Starting in our back line, we're going to go with our left back, and that is going to be Max Arfsten. I don't particularly rate Max Arfsten very highly, but when he's with Columbus and he's used appropriately, he looks like a serviceable left wing back. Arfsten had 94% passing accuracy and 1 assist as he went the full 90 minutes. If he can continue to produce at this level with the crew, I don't see any reason that Pochettino doesn't bring him as A-Rob's backup next summer. And again, Max Arfsten, he's best as a left wing back, but today he is our left back in a 4-4-2 because A-Rob is actually injured. And Caleb Wiley also injured. A lot of our left backs right now are not playing, and Max Arfsten is playing well. Our right back this week is going to be Joe Scally of Borussia Mönchengladbach. And Scally went the full 90 as a wing back, and he looked surprisingly good in this more advanced role. Joe is usually not the most lively on offense, but this week he was involved and somewhat dangerous. He had one big chance himself and couldn't finish it, and delivered his standard good defensive performance along with offensive contribution. That, combined with a poor performance from Serginho Dest, gets Joe Scally to start this week. Moving into our center backs, we're going to start with Chris Richards, who continues to grow and look very dependable for Crystal Palace. As usual, he played the full 90 minutes, and he looked good from his aerial presence and his ability to track the ball and keep his backline organized. Richards is finding himself doing more and more and being one of the more dependable center backs in the Premier League. He's not a top center back in the Premier League yet, but he's also just 25, so there's a lot of room for him to grow. Next to Chris, we're going to put Mark McKenzie of Toulouse. And Mackenzie's Toulouse has now lost 3 matches in a row, but his form hasn't been all negative. He could have done a bit more on the goal that his team gave up, but he was also not completely at fault as the attacker was already slipped in behind, and Mackenzie would have had to make that very risky tackle to even try and prevent it. He did have 4 clearances, 1 block shot, and 1 tackle to pair with 84% passing accuracy. Moving into our midfield, we're going to start with Tyler Adams from Bournemouth. And Tyler started and went the full 90 minutes against Newcastle. Tyler looked great once again. He's really anchoring their midfield and supporting their backline well. He won 7 of 11 ground duels, had 5 interceptions, and 3 tackles. These continued good performances from Tyler tell us that he needs a good, solid pairing to take the offensive responsibility away from him, and he will continue to look good if we let him be a true 6, a true destroyer. Up next in our midfield, we have Malik Tillman of Bayer Leverkusen. And Tillman went the full 90 minutes and helped his team to a 1-1 draw against Joe Scally and Gio Reyna's Gladbach. He scored his team's only goal in this match, and while I would have liked to see a bit more out of him in terms of his creativity and slipping players in behind, he looked solid. Our third midfielder is going to be Tanner Tessman of Olympic Lyon, and Tanner went the full 90 minutes and scored the game-winning goal for Lyon. He had 4 accurate long balls, 2 clearances, and 1 tackle. The emergence of Tanner could not be coming at a better time because Johnny's injured, Yunus hasn't found his footing with Atalanta, and Weston isn't playing with Juventus right now. Our midfield is very deep, but we didn't trust it so much. But with a player like Tanner coming through and really showing his quality, we feel a little bit better if somebody does remain injured or out of favor and isn't getting the minutes that they need to come into the national team. Last but not least in our midfield is Aiden Morris of Middlesbrough. Morris again went the full 90 for his club and made his presence felt with 70 touches and 92% passing accuracy. Morris won 3 of 3 ground duels, had 3 tackles, and 1 block shot. He is quietly putting together a really nice season in the championship. Up top, we're going to have Quinn Sullivan of the Philadelphia Union and Christian Pulisic of AC Milan. And Sullivan played the full 90 minutes and scored the game's only goal to give the Union a win over the New England Revolution. On top of his goal, Sullivan had 67 touches and 2 key passes. Typically, Sullivan wouldn't make our top 10 unless he had a massive standout performance, but the rest of our striker pool did not perform this week. Sargent and Pepe did not look good. Downs played 62 minutes, wasn't impressive. Haji Wright didn't get on the score sheet for what feels like the first time in forever, but was largely ineffective. Balogun didn't play a single minute. He was likely rested from the midweek, but still, he's not going to make it onto this because he didn't play. So after we look through all of Europe, we look to our guys who performed in the MLS. And Quinn is going to be paired with Christian Pulisic from Milan. And his inclusion here is almost a given at this point. He's playing so well for Milan. This weekend, he played 63 minutes and was subbed out because the game was effectively over at that point. Christian scored 2 goals and assisted on the third by applying good defensive pressure in the opponent's box. On top of his goal contributions, you can see his work rate and willingness to get on the ball and make something happen. He won 7 of 9 ground duels and drew 3 fouls. Christian has been Milan's best player so far this season with 4 goal contributions in 4 league matches across just 191 minutes. They can't afford for him not to play at this point, and neither can the US. All right, guys, that's everything I've got for you today. Let me know what you think. Is the 4-4-2 a good formation for us? Is there any different combination of players that would make us look a little bit stronger? Leave a like and a comment in the comment section down below letting me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.